Hi, this is Dan Sullivan. I'd like to welcome you to the Multiplier Mindset Podcast. On this episode of the Multiplier Mindset, we have an interview with Sarge Avon, who is a health and fitness specialist in Maryland, and that's his business. This is a great message from Sarge because he said, I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. And by identifying this, Sarge is really putting his finger right on the center of how you constantly grow as a human being, but also especially how you grow as an entrepreneur. I know a lot of entrepreneurs that I've coached since 1974 who hit a point in their life where they stopped growing, and I can actually identify when it is that they stopped growing, and that is when they thought that they were the smartest person in the room, and they wouldn't go into any situation or any setting where there were people there who were smarter than they were. So they just leveled off at a point where they couldn't learn anything new, they couldn't learn anything better because they refused to be around people who were smarter, more talented in certain areas. The big thing here is Sarge realized at a certain point in his career that he was going about things in the wrong way, and that is that he was feeling that if he didn't know something, this was a deficiency in himself, and he didn't want to admit this to other people, and so as a result of this, he actually got in trouble and lost his entire business. I've done that. I've been bankrupt twice as a coach, and in each case, it was exactly for the same reason that Sarge talks about and tells us his own experience. See, for all of us who are successful as entrepreneurs, and everybody in Strategic Coach who's in the Strategic Coach program has a really good brain. We're all very intelligent. We have good thinking apparatus. But that's only half the story, as being smart inside your own head. Where the real breakthrough happens with entrepreneurs is where you use your brain to expand your mind. And the way you expand your mind is continually interacting with people who are smarter in a lot of other areas than you are, and they have much greater skills. My rule, and Sarge talks about it in the interview, is I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. I just want to be in a room where everybody's getting smarter in their own way, and they get smarter by interacting with people who have skills and intelligence and knowledge in areas that we don't, and that stretches us, and it actually develops us into more and more intelligent, creative, productive entrepreneurs.
My name is Patrick Avon. Most people call me Sarge. No, my mother did not actually give me that nickname. It was a nickname that was given me. I have been in the fitness industry right after I got out of the military, and my style of fitness was pretty aggressive, so that's where the nickname Sarge came from. I became an entrepreneur probably because I was a real pain in the rear end to work for anyone else. I was really difficult to work with. I got bored very easily, and I've always had really big ideas and big visions. And as a matter of fact, one of my first companies, the LLC name was actually Big Vision. And I found that working for somebody else just couldn't allow me to project that vision. So it was a lot easier for me to just go off and work on my own. And it just started happening. And next thing you know, I actually had a business. I had customers paying me. It was really cool. I would say if there is a lesson that I could share with any entrepreneur is don't lose confidence. And that's something they talk about in Strategic Coach a lot. Don't lose confidence, and don't be afraid to reach out to your fellow brothers and sisters who are also entrepreneurs, that they can lend some wisdom to you before you make an impulsive decision. I made a very impulsive decision a long time ago, and I took on a business partner to do something that I could have hired someone to do. And it literally cost me the company. It cost me everything. Instead of just reaching out and talking to some colleagues that, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. What has your experience been? Because you never want to be the smartest person in the room. And I think at that period of time, the market was doing really well. And I probably thought I was the smartest guy in the room. Well, I clearly was not. And I went out, took on a business partner. We had some really big growth goals and went right after. And next thing you know, the first thing we did was hire somebody to do something that that business partner was supposed to be doing. So not only did I lose revenue or lost cash because I was paying now this new employee, but next thing you know, the business started to dwindle and eventually the business went away, and it was not a good situation. If you are ever in a situation where you're starting to lose a little confidence, or you think you might be, go out and talk to a couple other businessmen and businesswomen, take them to lunch, buy them coffee, and go out and get away for an hour and tell them, here's where my situation is, and be honest. Don't put a shield up that you have this big company that's doing really, really well. Be truthful, be honest, and say, this is where I'm struggling, and this is where I need some help and some guidance, and see what they have to say to you. And I guarantee they will probably tell you, let's slow down, let's take a look at it. Hey, I know someone that can fit that role that you can get for cheap, instead of selling off a portion of your company, and next thing you know, it costs you everything. And that's what happened to me. And then I had to start all over again, and it really stunk. The end of the story, or the next chapter in the story, actually has turned out to be an amazing blessing in disguise, and I'm very grateful. What ended up happening was my children were getting older and they're playing more sports, so I'm in the health and fitness industry, so I shifted my focus more towards youth athletics, where kids are sitting a lot and they're on their iPhones all day long, and they're not as physically active as they were when I was a kid. So I shifted my focus and started working with today's youth to start instilling confidence in them. And next thing you know, it started going crazy, and then I realized I didn't need a partner, and I had everything that I needed. Yeah, I needed more customers, and I needed amazing staff. And that's one of the things that strategic coaches really helped me look at the business from a large perspective and it's helped us grow an amazing business. I feel completely fulfilled with what I do, and the ability that I can bring something to the world that really needs it, but it fills me inside. Where I was in the fitness industry before, working with adults, I was grateful to be in the industry and had a lot of fun, amazing clients. But to see a kid light up, and a little boy go home and make a muscle, and his mom, look at my muscles, or a little girl say, Mommy, look at my six-pack abs, I got abs now. That makes them feel confident. They approach things differently, and that is extremely fulfilling. So I'm a grateful individual.
So here's the way to continually build a community, a network around you of really smart people. Keep asking questions and keep saying, I've only gone this far in this part of my entrepreneurial career. I wonder if there's someone who knows how to go further. And then what you do is you identify people who seem to be smart, and you say, can I ask you a question? I'm up against an obstacle, and I don't know how to think about it. And you tell them what the obstacle is, and you say, do you have any thoughts about how I can go beyond where I am right now? And then you listen. And all of a sudden, the experience will pour out of other people. I've never seen anyone in the entrepreneurial world, certainly in Strategic Coach, where if you sat down, you express, I'm up against a particular problem that I'd like to solve, and I just like to get your insights about how I can get beyond this. And all the successful experience and the unsuccessful experience of the other entrepreneur will pour out. And you'll sit there and you'll get brand new ideas. You'll find shortcuts. You'll find bypasses to the problem you're in. And do this once, do it 10 times, do it 100 times, and you just keep getting smarter and smarter. But the other thing is, when you ask that question and you value what another person says, that person wants to have an ongoing relationship with you. They would like to continue the conversation that you're having, and it just naturally forms a group, and then the group gets bigger, the network gets bigger, and that's how you stay smarter and smarter as an entrepreneur throughout your entire entrepreneurial career. For a very fast, easy to understand resource on how to use your brain to constantly expand your mind, go to procrastinationpriority.coach.